The question is that all of our productivity gains almost have been eaten up by increases of costs in healthcare, and we're going to have a crisis in Medicaid, Medicare programs. What do we do to control the costs of healthcare? Is that right, Zeke? It's a jump ball.
Good. I can start. First, I would refer you, for the Obama plan, it spends a lot of time on that exact question and lays out 8 or 10 major efforts on that, centering around things like putting the emphasis on preventive care and chronic disease management, making the insurance market work more efficiently, investing in information technology, which is, depending what part of the medical community you're coming for, some believe each of those is super important and the other ones are not. But if you take them as a package, most people think that the collective package is pretty important. I think this issue of reforming and making the insurance industry working better is actually quite important. And it's the thing that makes me worried about the McCain plan, which is effectively, let's just give everyone a tax credit. Let's try to move away from an employer-based system and dump everybody into the individual market without without changing the nature of the insurance business now. I'm really worried that that basically means everybody who has a pre-existing condition is not going to be able to get coverage. So those issues are vexing. The immediate crisis part of it, the cost savings is not the immediate way to deal with it. Those are the long run. You got to make long run investments in changing the nature of the system if you are to have any chance at reforming that.
Well, you worry about families having control over their health insurance. I worry about nationalizing health insurance. I don't think it would work.
Mm-hmm. Neither do I.
Very frankly, it didn't work in, '94 when Senator Clinton tried it. I think it was a mistake in the 40s, but this comes out of World War II, where we allowed employers to have a full deduction for the insurance, the health insurance of their employees.
And McCain would end employer-based health insurance.
And give it to the family.
Right, okay.
And I would insure the whole country for catastrophic health insurance. I believe in nationalized health insurance for catastrophe, not for every first dollar. I know you don't either. That's not a good argument. But catastrophic health insurance, not the type of health insurance that we're getting foisted on us. And the comment about 2050, absolutely. If you take everything out to 2050, things really get screwed up. You can get really pessimistic. And hopefully, men and women and good candidates, hopefully this is a great debate between McCain and Obama going forward. I was just reading the paper. If you take the corn crop of America, by the year 2050, the whole corn crop of America will be invested in ethanol.
Yeah.
How stupid could we be, notwithstanding what it's doing to the third world prices of feed grain? So we got to make changes. That's what this debate is all about. We need a radical departure, from, in my opinion, from employer-based health insurance.
One interesting thing to think about, there's no resolution, but just think in your mind what some of the tensions are. You could try to set up, let's say, a catastrophic, everybody has some catastrophic coverage, and that's the baseline thing. But the one thing about that is, that's moving in the direction of what they call the consumer-driven healthcare, where it's essentially big deductibles so that people are paying money out of pocket so that they're putting price pressure on this. It's too expensive, too expensive. Now, the only thing about that is, that can help you on the price pressure side, but that really deteriorates the preventive care and chronic disease management side. Because the last thing, if you want people to go in and get their blood pressure checked, if the person's got to pay $125 every time they go into the doctor, they're not going to go. So there are some deeper philosophical issues to think about. Pros and cons on both sides, I think, that I think they're worth considering.
Can I just press you on one point that Jack made? Isn't it bad for our economy, worker mobility, and everything else to have health insurance tied to the employer?
Senator Obama has said if you were going to start from scratch, you would never build the system we have today. Now, we are not the only employer-based system. There are several other countries of the world that have employer-based systems where employers offer extra on top. There's some base level that everybody can get.
Okay, but let me let you speak as a
more.
University of Chicago theorist. In theory, that's a bad idea to have an employer-based system, right? Speaking for
purely
yourself.
employer-based.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Now, the employers pay different levels of wages. Employers have different kinds of pension fund. Some have very generous pensions, some have no pensions. It's easy to see how an employer-based system would allow you to have different kinds of health coverage in a way that just one size fits all would not work. So there are some positives of employer-based.
Yeah, but if I want to switch jobs and
Yes, the
I've got a
portability
pretty-
part
okay,
is very
Jack,
problematic.
I'm on the advisory board, North American Toyota. And if you look at Toyota vis-a-vis the manufacturers of America, which I've driven American cars my whole life. What has killed the American auto industry is defined benefit packages and health insurance. It has raised the cost of labor. Toyota does not put a plant anywhere near Michigan, and it's not Michigan's fault. Yes, it is, come to think of it. They have high corporate income taxes. They have a defined benefit. And if you look at this whole idea of employer-based health care, it's not portable. So when a family loses his or her job or wants to move, they lose their health insurance. That doesn't seem right to me.